All right, Dennis, welcome back to another episode, our second session together here on the Skift Take sessions. How many times can we say sessions in a row? We'll
I
find
don't
out.
know.
But thanks for joining me again today to cover this session that was also at Skift Global Forum with Glenn Fogel. Are you ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, Dennis, you asked a pretty blunt question right out the gate to Glenn, asking is ChatGPT a paid marketing channel yet? Glenn says no, but who knows later. So what should listeners, take from that statement being pretty short?
Well, later has arrived, apparently. So OpenAI announced a few weeks ago that it's going to start testing advertising. And definitely travel advertising will be part of it. So we don't know exactly how it works, whether it will be auctions like in Google search, or we don't know how it will work, but we know that companies like Booking.com are going to be involved. They're involved in any kind of advertising initiative where there's a lot of customers involved.
Mm-hmm.
So it is here, and I'm sure the others will follow.
Well, we saw a core too, right? A core launched kind of the first, marketing distribution with ChatGPT, not as an OTA, but they do have a good loyalty program. So do you think more brands will get into this? And sorry, this is off the cuff, but more brands will get into this and kind of maybe even beat the OTAs into this AI marketing plan?
I'm not a beat the OTA guy.
Yeah.
But I think more companies will get into it. Great for Accor to be an early mover as far as the hotel sector is concerned. The OTAs will adapt. They, if the LLMs become a dominant place for discovery and booking, the OTAs will be there. I was really intrigued by. We had our Skift Megatrends. I listened to the one in New York.
Yeah.
A few days ago, and Thomas Reiner of Altimeter Capital, he said that if you lose your foothold in discovery, if people go to ChatGPT or Perplexity or Claude, if they go there first, even if they're not booking there, you lose some of your value as an OTA. Your value goes down. So that is something to keep in mind. It's not just okay, so they're not going to be booking with us, but hey, if you're not even using like Booking.com or Expedia for discovery, if you're going somewhere else first, that can't be a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. They're missing on the top of funnel piece, which is what they've been pros at basically for decades.
Right. They've been masters of it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, Glenn also brings up a massive kind of tension point with valuations being, plus CapEx that look like the size of GDP of a mid to small size country. And nobody really knows the return model. What does that tell us about the next wave of monetization pressures happening with the OTAs?
Well, there's definitely pressures on the LLMs. We don't know if all the companies are going to be able to build the electrical power centers that they need in order to power artificial intelligence. So that calls into question the foothold of the LLMs. OpenAI, I believe they announced today, or there was a story today that they're racing to go public by the fourth quarter. They're trying to beat Anthropic as the first to IPO. So their fiscal health is at risk, and it it happened after Skift Global Forum that Gemini 3 came out, and that seems to be an existential threat to competitors, to OpenAI and the others. What if we get to I would say 2 years ago, we were talking about the demise of Google. Google search, it's going to be, dead and buried. But now we have Gemini 3 coming out, and people say that's better than the others. it may be Google as the king once again, and so if there are pressures on the LLMs, that could be good for the OTAs. Maybe the hit to them won't be as fierce as some people think.
Do you think the statement "too big to fail" applies?
To the LLMs, you mean?
To Google, the LLMs, or anybody that obviously they've all gotten the OTAs are huge, right? Like they do billions and billions,
Right.
if not trillions. So
I
almost
feel
seems,
like it's not like J.P. Morgan or Goldman Sachs going out of business. We
True.
saw in the last, or was it Lehman Brothers? But so I don't think they're too big to fail. I mean, there are too many LLMs. Some of them are going to fail. I think it was somebody from Booking.com. I think their CFO said a few weeks ago that we love having all these LLMs out there. It breaks up the monopoly in terms of there's more than just Google now.
Yeah.
But some of them are definitely going to fail. You saw when the search engines, 20, 25 years ago, there were so many search engines that were out there, and I remember Alta Vista and Yahoo was so big, in the beginning. There was a whole bunch of others, and a lot of them failed. So a lot of these LLMs are going to fail as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I was going to ask you basically about an AI bubble, but that basically answers it because it's very similar to what we saw back then with the search engines. So
right.
Yeah, very true. Well, for the listeners, as we're recording, this is January 30th. So if you're listening to this episode a couple of weeks later, just know check skift.com. Things might have updated or changed since the last time of this recording. But for now, make sure to stay tuned as we're about to play this session with Dennis Schaal right here. And of course, Glenn Fogel, CEO of Booking.com.